Well, it doesn't look like we're approaching a large shopping mall. It more so looks like we're in the outskirts of a large populated area, which technically we are. But nonetheless, here we are at the Jamestown Mall. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen this already, there's a link down below that shows you an interactive map on all of the places that I've made videos on. It's really easy to use. All you have to do is click on the link to the map and then click on a pin that will take you to a link of said place. Without question, the most interesting thing about this part of North County is the abandoned Jamestown Mall, in which I'll get to towards the middle part of this video. Along with that, I drive in mad circles around the city of Blackjack along with Spanish Lake. Well, let's get to it. Shall we? I do start the video in the far northeastern part of Ferguson before heading through Blackjack. And no, I'm not looking for no meetup to play some blackjack. It's a pandemic, yo! If you're unfamiliar with my videos, I do speed up my videos in order to show more in a less amount of time. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you gave it a quick like and dropped a comment, as putting these videos together does take a good amount of time and effort. Doing so allows these videos a better chance to be seen by others, as the monster that is the YouTube algorithm has proven over time to be defeated by having interaction on said videos. With that said, if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video of an area near you. And if you enjoy this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like Blackjack and Spanish Lake can be found in my Missouri playlist or in my St. Louis suburbs playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. Currently, we are in an unincorporated area of St. Louis County. If you're not from here, basically St. Louis County is home to just under 1 million people, which is spread between 88 different municipalities. Not included in that number of 88 is quite a few other uncounted for census-designated places. A few examples of CDPs that we'll go through in this video are Jamestown and Spanish Lake. Even though some of these places are far away from the city limits of St. Louis, a lot of the places within these census-designated places have St. Louis addresses. Attempts, or at least discussions, have been made in the past to annex several clusters of suburbs together to lower the number of municipalities within the county, but who knows if that will ever happen. Greater St. Louis currently is the 20th largest metropolitan area in the US. However, Baltimore is only 3,000 people behind, and it's growing at a 5% rate, whereas Greater St. Louis is growing at only a 0.5% rate. Other metro areas on pace to pass St. Louis in population include Charlotte, Orlando, San Antonio, and Portland, Oregon. We are now within Blackjack, which is home to 6,900 people. The median household income is $58,000 per year. 21% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $128,000. The crime rates are slightly above the national average, and Niche.com gives the public schools here a C. Parts of the city lie within the Ferguson Florissant School District, while the other parts lie within the Hazelwood School District. Blackjack gets its name from 3 large blackjack oak trees that once stood at the intersection of Old Hulls Ferry Road and Parker Road, which is where we are right here. Supposedly, it was a landmark in the city's early days, as it sounds like there weren't many trees around. Either it was all farmland or it was a grass prairie. In 1970, Blackjack incorporated as a city. Currently, we're on the eastern side of the small city of Blackjack as I turn through some of the residential neighborhoods. Now we make our way west towards another unincorporated area of St. Louis before reaching Florissant. Just like that, we are within the city of Florissant, which is the largest municipality within St. Louis County. It's home to 50,000 residents, which is down from a peak population of 66,000 back in 1970. If you want to see more of Florissant, make sure to check out my last video. Since the city of Florissant and the surrounding North County communities have continued to lose population over time, school enrollment was recorded to be at half of its peak in 2018 for the Ferguson-Florissant School District. In my last video, I drove by a large abandoned building that once served as the offices for the school district. Once again, check out that video if you want to see more. Now we start heading towards the gold mine of this video, which is the large and abandoned Jamestown Mall. Really quick, as I'm going to take you away from the driving portion of this video. Before we get there, I wanted to illustrate that this mall was built in a very bad location. If you were to draw a line due north and due east of the mall, you'll see that there's a giant floodplain due to the confluence of the Missouri and Mississippi rivers nearby. If you were to draw lines in the opposite direction and draw a several mile radius around this mall, you'll see that it's in a very sparsely populated part of North County. Not only is it isolated from all other commercial zones, there's really not that many subdivisions around it either. It kind of makes you scratch your head and wonder what they were thinking in building a mall all the way out here. Well, it doesn't look like we're approaching a large shopping mall. It more so looks like we're in the outskirts of a large populated area, which technically we are. But nonetheless, here we are at the Jamestown Mall. The Jamestown Mall was built right outside of the city limits of Blackjack as ground broke in 1972. The Blackjack City website is proud to clearly let you know that it's not a part of the city as it says so on its homepage. Technically, it's in the census-designated place known as Old Jamestown, even though Wikipedia and other sites say that it's in Florissant. I say it's in Old Jamestown. I know that the municipalities of St. Louis County are oddly laid out, as I've said in just about every suburb video that I've done of Greater St. Louis, so you guys can argue whether it's in Blackjack, Old Jamestown, or Florissant in the comments section below if you care that much. Nonetheless, the mall was opened in 1973 as it was the 5th megamall built in the Greater St. Louis area. It was a giant single-story mall that had over 600,000 square feet. A company called Jacobs Group owned the mall until 2003 when it was sold to the Carlyle Development Group. By that time, the mall had clearly continued to empty with a 30% vacancy rate at the time of sale. In 2008, Carlyle announced some redevelopment plans. In 2009, St. Louis County hired researchers from the Urban Land Institute to analyze the viability as a retail center. In 2013, the mall's closure was made public with only a single store open, and in July of 2014, Macy's was the last store to close. Today, the Jamestown Mall is owned by the St. Louis Port Authority, which is a group with the goal of supporting the economic development in areas of the city along the Mississippi River. I guess owning this apocalyptic place is an exception to their rule. The Port Authority has been trying to redevelop this mall since it closed back in 2014. In 2018, a deal was almost in place with a Kansas City company to develop the site into warehouses, but that deal fell through. It's hard to imagine it staying like this forever and seeing nothing get done. Something will get done eventually, but to know what the future holds for this massive abandoned mall, we'll just have to wait and see. We are now in the census-designated place that is Spanish Lake. The population of Spanish Lake in 2010 was 19,000. Estimates in between census counts aren't done for CDPs like Spanish Lake. The 2010 population, however, was an 8% decline from the 2000 census count of 21,000, so it wouldn't surprise me if the population comes out in the 2020 census count to be around 18,000. The median household income here is a very low $37,000 per year, and 22% of the residents live in poverty. Only 15% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $99,000 per year. The crime rates here are above average, and the public schools are rated as a C. Residents within the boundaries of Spanish Lake are within the Hazelwood School District. Originally, this place was called Spanish Pond. Spanish troops occupied this area as there was a post here for Spain in 1768. As you can imagine, way back when it was a farming village, suburban development started to sprawl out this way in the 1950s as white flight came into effect for the area. In the 1990s, white flight then took place within Spanish Lake as more African Americans moved to the suburbs to escape the conditions of inner-city St. Louis. As goes the people with the money, so goes the community. I think that right there perfectly explains the generational effect of racism and shows that even though the attitude is rarely displayed anymore today, it's still probably going to take longer than a lifetime before we see things play out evenly between all races. For those who are familiar with my videos, you're probably used to seeing me drive continuously without pieces of the video broken up here and there. In order to make the video less lengthy, and in order to not drive on the same roads repeatedly, I had to do that for this video in order to make it a better video. This was the first video of that day that I started to drive around and film, so maybe I should have stopped by a Walmart to buy a 12-pack of Mountain Dew redneck style. Maybe that would have woken me up a little bit. Well, with that said, that's about it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, as doing all of those things helps these videos out with the YouTube algorithm. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like Spanish Lake and Blackjack can be found in my Missouri playlist or in my St. Louis suburbs playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace!